we go.
Let me click OK. Look at this. So is this recording the video as well?
Yeah, it should be.
Look at this now. Boom, baby.
I know we've gone all professional people.
What I want to know is how G's going to adjust this setup for his car.
I'd love it if he's screwed his mic boom
to,
arm into
to the
this.
dashboard.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, we've gone very professional. We've got new mic, basically because Andrew McCutcheon kept taking the piss out of our audio quality.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, just so you know, the bill is in the post. We've sent an
Yeah,
invoice to cover the cost of the equipment.
yeah. Because as we said before, we ain't got fucking sponsors for this.
No, no. And potentially this might make it out on YouTube. We'll see if it's good enough.
Yes. Okay, fine.
Have
Yeah,
you
I don't.
set your video to HD, Matt?
I don't know how to.
So if you go to where you do your settings, for your
Right.
sound, if you go to settings, you'll see an option that says video and effects.
Oh yeah.
And you'll see there's a drop down for your camera and there's a little tick box that says HD. Just make sure that's ticked.
Video settings. Ah, it wasn't ticked. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look at you, mate.
That
We can
better?
we can see that bald spot in HD.
Hey, look at that. I literally thought there's no way it'll have an HD setting.
Yeah. Well,
Right, hold up.
by the sounds of it, your laptop is actually a serious bit of kit.
Well, it's only because, I mean, you say my laptop, it's my work laptop.
Yeah, but it's got to be able to handle 3D renders and all
Yeah,
sorts.
exactly. Yeah. Is that better? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's good. Damn,
Okay,
I
cool.
want a little arm thing now.
Honestly, it's the way forward. I'm telling you, I feel like a fucking pro.
Oh,
Right, so we're just
God.
waiting for G basically, and
We are.
his little setup. It's going to be glorious.
Yeah, he's just got to find his car keys.
Yeah, and his microphone adapter and everything else that he won't be ready with.
No.
Oh well.
Oh dear. So have you recovered okay?
Yeah, although it took me like 3 days to catch up on sleep.
Yeah,
It's mental, wasn't it?
it's crazy. You don't realize how exhausting it is. Even just the amount of steps we did every day.
Yeah, I don't know. I know obviously we drank every day as well, which I'm sure didn't help.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just absolutely exhausting when I got back, and then obviously I was straight into work on the Monday, and it was just long days, and I don't know, just took me a while to catch up on everything. I feel relatively normal now, so
Yeah.
but
Well, you look fairly normal.
but no, do you know what? It was good. I fucking loved it out there.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
So
it was
good.
so good. Yeah,
So
although
much so that you wonder whether any future trips out there are going
I,
to be
there's
anywhere as good.
so many people have been asking me, "You doing it again next year? Do it again next year?" And I'm thinking, I'd love to, and I've already said
Yeah.
to the missus, "Is like we plan to do it," but it is difficult to think we never replicate the first time again.
Well, because we know about it now, we know the pitfalls, we know what to
Yeah,
prepare for. The reality is the comedy of arriving at that apartment.
it'll never be replicated because we'll never
No,
make that mistake again.
no.
But I don't know. I think it was good fun, and whether we want to learn our lessons from this time and we want to do it more
Yeah,
professionally,
yeah,
or whether we just want to wing it like we did because I fucking loved it.
yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, we just didn't take it too seriously, and I think,
No. And the more when we've come back, the more that what I've read on like proper coverage, Hodinky, etc., that's where you're going to pick up. No one's coming to us.
we're never going to compete with
No
that
one's coming
stuff.
to us to learn about shit. If you
Yeah,
want to learn about stuff, go to somewhere else. This is just this was always our take on it. Um, so no, it was good. Yeah,
yeah. So if you haven't
no, I really
seen
enjoyed it.
already, I mean, we've mentioned it a few times, but we've kind of got a six-part series covering our experience at Watches and Wonders. Do not expect it to be a flashy luxury reel of new releases. It's more like what it's like to go out there, what the experience is like outside of the hall, kind of the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different take on Watches and Wonders, and I've not seen anything quite like it. So hopefully it's just something fresh.
No, and I think it was the response was really good.
Yeah,
Uh, I think the problem is, and you can see it when you go there, that everyone's doing the same thing.
yeah,
Everyone's just climbing over each other, and they're being fucking. Quite frankly, some people are being horrible to each other to
yeah.
get to get a picture of the latest release and get a wrist shot with the. And you think, I can't be fucked with all that. I
Yeah,
mean, I was actively barged out the way twice on the IWC stand.
it's crazy.
And you think, I don't know, it's fucking horrible when it's like that. But, when I was reading the Hodinky, almost like the roundup of it, They said the same thing. It's an industry fair. It's not for the public. It's an industry fair for professionals, journalists, writers, videographers, all the people that we are not.
Yeah,
That's what it's for.
it's not made for us.
No, it's not, and it was. But it was good fun. It was nice to see that side of it.
Yeah, I mean, saying it
Um,
wasn't made for us, just being out there and the sheer amount of people there from the community was great. Oh, here he
it was.
is.
It was. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Hey, hello, mate. He's looking as miserable as ever. Where's your mic, G? Oh, he's not on the bloody AirPods today, is he?
Yeah, baby, I've got the mic.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Yeah, boy. Woo, woo. It's the sound of the police.
Oh,
Um,
wicked.
Gee, do you have a stable internet connection?
yeah, let's say I do.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, it's 5G. It's my 5G, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So where are you placing the mic? This is the mystery.
Well, the mic's just here on my right, on my armrest. Actually, I'm in the back. Push the passenger seat forward, so I'm going full Uber. Yeah, it's all very nice.
I love
I'll
that.
figure it out. I'll figure it out. I can't do. I wish I had the boom back here, but
We did wonder whether you would get the boom and affix it to your dashboard.
it won't fix on. I mean, the steering wheel might have been a thing,
Oh yeah.
but yeah.
But
I don't know.
it is a lease and it's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
No, I own this fucker, mate. This is all mine.
Oh, so there's no excuse then.
Well, only I don't think the steering wheel gives you the kind of grip, the kind of purchase that a
Yeah.
boom would require with the weight.
No,
So,
what I will say is I couldn't find anywhere to clamp it. So it's clamped to a shelf that's a display shelf. And every time I move it, I have to move it really carefully in case I rip the shelf off the wall at the same time.
I thought you
I was
bolted
gonna
yours to the
say-
wall.
I will work out how to do it at some point, but it is, and these springs in this boom, they're fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was,
at some
I think your shelf sounds precarious, if I'm honest.
yeah, no, it's fine. Don't worry, I built it. What can go wrong?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's the thing that really makes me feel a certain degree of confidence in it, man.
It's quite right.
Yeah. Are you recording already? Have you
Yes,
hit-
we
hit
are.
Start?
Yeah,
We
fuck
are.
it.
We are
Wow.
indeed.
Amazing. Like, who knew? Wow. All right, good. So I've got all my settings set. I don't even. I'm off the hook. I'm not even recording this shit. This is brilliant.
I
Marvelous.
know. Well, let's just hope I know how to record it properly. Am I on the right
Yeah,
mic?
well,
Yeah.
If not, it's all on you, mate. I love
know.
it. Good.
No, we were
pressure,
just
Taz.
commenting on obviously. Do you feel recovered from Geneva now?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I had a pint before this,
Nice.
and I had a couple of drinks last night. So that ultimately is the measure by which I would say
Yeah.
I feel like I've recovered from Geneva. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, to that point though, I think I've only really just processed it all and digested it all, at least from a watchy point of view. Socially it was top, but I didn't really feel like, I don't know about you guys, like I got a real chance to sort of stop and ponder the things we saw and the people we were around from a watch point of view. And I think kind of now, a week on, I feel like it's percolated through and I'm like, yeah, all right, good.
I must admit there are certain details, and I mean, like we've just said, we weren't there for the cutting edge, bringing the new pieces to the public. That's not what we were there for. We were there to have a jolly, have a laugh, experience it firsthand, and show our experience to everyone else. But there are certain details of the watches and the newly released stuff that I feel like I'm only now just really getting my head around of what was actually released. And some of the important details that perhaps I missed at the time because I was too busy just dicking around, having a laugh.
Well, if we'd all been out there 9 a.m. Tuesday morning, as the doors opened and all the news was unleashed, would you have felt differently about the experience than you did doing it the way we did it? Because I wonder, if you do it like that, are you pinning all your hopes on there being the best year of releases ever?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there was something good about having that Tuesday at home, processing it all, going through from a personal. And I think this is the thing is I approach watches slightly differently in terms of when they're released. I struggle to get excited about stuff that costs 200 grand or 100 grand because I know from a watch point of view, the details might be interesting, might be fascinating, but for me, they're not on my collecting journey at the moment. So I'm
Mm.
approaching it. I'm approaching it not from a what do I want to talk about in the watch world? What do I want to talk about the new releases? What new technology? What new materials being released? What new dial materials being used? I'm purely coming at it from the point of what do I want to buy?
Yeah, but I mean, if you know, if Rolex or some brand that you like drops a thing that's 60 grand, you're not going to buy it, but you're going to go, oh, I like that. That's cool. Like there
Yeah,
is
but
an in between,
no,
surely.
there is, but the enthusiasm isn't there in the same respect. Like obviously, all my hopes were pinned on Tudor. Even if Rolex released something fantastic, say they turned around and they
Mm.
did release a Coke GMT, you know, that's fantastic. It would be awesome to have one. But I know, even if I said, brilliant, that's the one for me, I'll put my name down for it. I know realistically that's not going to happen for like years. So,
I guess that's the
I'd have
difference
been
of going.
thrilled.
Or I guess that's the difference is going as a collector versus
yes,
as an industry professional
yeah,
reporting on all the latest novelties. Is you approach it from a slightly different perspective, and I think us going out a few days after opening,
mm,
kind of we got there a bit more prepared as to what we might want to look at, what we initially found interesting.
yeah. And I think it's not that the passion's not there for anything. It's just that in that moment on that Tuesday morning, that was what my focus was what could I buy? What do I want to add to the collection? And then thereafter, it takes time for me to process, work through, taking all the details, what's been released, and then you start to take it all in, and then you can learn more. And some of the pieces that were released have been fascinating. And actually, doing the exercise that we're going to do tonight, there's a few things that came out which actually, you know, they're not for me, but they're really fucking cool and probably deserve talk
Mm.
and probably deserve a bit of airtime and talking about because even I don't think they were covered very well, uh, just by sheer
Mm.
nature of the collectability and the limited numbers that they're being made in. But we'll come on to that.
Yeah. Well, let's start off as we mean to go on, shall we?
Why
And
not?
traditionally, I think wrist checks, gentlemen. Darren, man of the moment, recordist in chief.
Yeah.
What adorns your wrist, sir?
So I'm wearing my VC overseas dual
Oh,
time blue dial, although it looks black on here for some reason.
and it's on the
Mm.
bracelet.
And
Quite
it's on the
right.
bracelet. I've been really enjoying the bracelet today. I must say, when the sun is out, you appreciate this bracelet even more because
Mm.
as you twist it, you just see the different kind of polished and brushed elements and everything else. And this watch is relevant to our conversation later, I think. But yeah, just absolutely love it. And I've been wearing it on the strap and the bracelet and the blue strap and the wide strap. So just enjoying the versatility and I guess preemptively waiting for a call uh, that my titanium version eventually comes in.
I
Just
must say,
jump.
since seeing the titanium, your steel looks quite shiny.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I must say I'm looking forward to because one thing with this, although I love the look of it, the highly polished sort of bezel on this does get every fingerprint, and I always worry about scratching it. Whereas the titanium one is kind of like a sandblasted finish. It's definitely a much more rugged version of this. And the more I've worn this, the more I've thought, you know what, they can both exist in the collection. One doesn't have to replace the other.
That is what I was going to ask you. Is now you've had sort of time again to reflect on all this.
Yeah.
Do you feel that if you did get the call for the card? Oh, by the way, the blue cardinal point.
Mm.
Obviously, it's northeast southwest. Which is the blue?
Is it
South.
south? I think
South.
because
Perfect. Makes
it
sense.
also represents the ocean. But
Fine. Okay. So when you get the call, do you think that that will then you'll have both? You'll keep both in the collection.
I think I'll keep both. I just think they're different enough. I mean, my only question was because I've got a blue dial, do I go for the blue dial? But I just feel like the blue is the best one, and they are quite. This one's a bit more dressy, a bit more shiny, and I really do want the new cardinal points. I hope I'm not precious about it when it comes. I just want that to become like a really cool daily to wear, and the lightness and everything else. I think it lends itself so well to being a really nice daily. And this maybe I'll reserve for, going out in the evening. It's a bit more of an evening watch, maybe. I'll make up a reason for it.
I was about to say, there'll always be a reason for it. There'll
Yeah.
always be a justification
And
to keep both.
I know I'll keep it because I've already put the watches up for sale or sold the watches I want to sell to help fund it, and this was not part of it.
I mean, any
Nice.
titanium watch automatically, qualifies as a magic daily immediately.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a banger. And on one hand, I'm very jealous, and yet on the other hand, very pleased that it doesn't fit my wrist. But I'm going to enjoy seeing it on yours, mate.
Yeah, it's one less thing for you to worry about how you're going to fund.
100%. And when I saw it, like on the announcement, I was like, oh fuck, here we go, let's do it. And obviously, as you know, trying it on, I was like, nah, it doesn't work.
I was thinking about this though, given the success of it and given the potential success of it, certainly based on the feedback on release. What if they turned around and said, actually, we're going to do maybe not a dual time version, but a titanium 37mm overseas in titanium with the textured dials?
Yeah, I mean, you've got the new ultra thin. I can easily see that coming out in other materials in the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and that was a better size on UG, I think.
Yes, 37mm definitely works for me. Yeah, I mean, if they did a 37mm micro rotor overseas in titanium, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah,
I'd be interested in that sort of thing potentially. Depends on the price, I suppose. Depends what else I've got going on at the time. But yeah, I mean that platinum overseas was crazy good.
yeah,
it was stunning. Yeah.
Although, do you know what? I've seen a picture of it since. Again, I look back at a picture of it, and I realised they fucked it up.
Okay.
No, hear me through. If you look at the dial, you'll see that there's obviously a minute track, but then on the Riho, there's a seconds track. There's no seconds hand on it.
That's odd.
Right. I mean, they've done it like it's an extension of the minute track, I guess. But why do you need it?
Yeah.
Answer, you don't. And so I put it to you that having now seen that and not being able to unsee it, I would need that to be addressed. Matt's just on his phone.
I feel
sending
like
sending a DM to the head of Astra and Constantine going,
no, but I want to just grab the picture and have a look at it. Because that would be bizarre that they would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what.
Well, let
me bring this.
You're right. That's mad.
Let me bring this up. Since this is now on YouTube.
I mean, you could. Again, it's pointless because you've got, unless they've just done it for balance, because you could. Yeah, you're right. It's got 2 tracks.
It's got 2 tracks. Don't need it. And there's no seconds hand. If they had the seconds hand, I'd get it.
I mean, you could argue that both are a minute track, but then why have 2 unless it's just purely for aesthetic balance?
Correct. Well, I get the inner one because that's the minute track. That's where your minute hand goes to. That makes sense.
But the minute hand looks like it washes almost all the way out to that.
Maybe it does, in which case you don't need it on the flat of the dial. No. But either way, it's a doubling up, and that's superfluous.
Yeah, they don't need the inner one, do they, really?
No. So they can keep their watch, and I shall keep my £103,000 sterling.
That is very convenient.
Isn't it just? Because I was just about to get the checkbook out when I suddenly thought, wait a fucking minute. But yeah. Anyway, you've got your overseas on, and that's a much better watch than that platinum rubbish. Who needs that shit?
Yeah. Although they should get rid of the seconds hand on this one, and it would have made it less busy. And it doesn't need a seconds hand because it doesn't have hacking seconds.
Has it got a double track?
It does have a double track.
Well, that's why you need the seconds hand, mate.
Yeah, I guess it is useful for counting things, but anyway.
Someone did message me and say, has the new Cardinal Points, does it have hacking seconds yet? And I was like, I don't think it does, but I will double check.
It does not.
It doesn't,
which is pretty bonkers that it doesn't this day and age.
It is mad. They do have some pieces with hacking seconds, but they say because it's not kind of in a military line of watches, whatever, it's meant to be a lot better for the movement, not hacking it.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I know.
Yeah.
But
That's bullshit.
Vacheron's whole stance on it is they only put hacking seconds where it's absolutely necessary because it does cause stress to the balance spring. Because essentially, when you pull the crown out, the hacking seconds, it shoots like a rod through the balance spring and stops it. So, but then Rolex have managed for many years to have very reliable watches.
I was going to say it's been done elsewhere, apparently without that massive catastrophic damage.
Yeah.
And I was
So-
saying, I was saying to you, G, I don't know if Darren, I don't know if you were there when we were talking about the Longines, my grandfather's Longines. So when you pull the crown on that, what the seconds hand does is it continues until it gets to 12 and then stops bang on the zero.
No
mark.
way.
Yeah.
That is so clever.
Yeah.
Every watch should do that.
Oh my God. That is like some quite complex complication.
And that was back in the 80s. And I don't know how long that's been running for. But yeah, you pull the crown.
I feel like that should have been something we talk about later.
Yeah, they need to bring that back. That's
But it's just a simple thing because obviously the one thing everyone tends to do to get it right is to wait until the seconds hand is near or bang on as 0 as you can at the 12 mark so you can set the minute correct.
Yeah.
But that solves it. You just pull the crown out, it washes around and stops bang on. And then as soon as you set the minute hand, you click the crown in, it's good to go and you're always bang on with it. It's so clever.
Wow.
So I think, again, that's another thing that if Longines can do that back then.
And I bet that works slightly differently in that probably doesn't stop the balance wheel. It probably just disengages the seconds hand when it hits 12. I need to look into that.
Which might take the argument out the stress factor.
And is it a thick watch or is it quite slim?
No, it's slim.
Well, there you go. There you go. Anyway, I still love Vacheron. So
quite.
Hacking seconds or not.
Yeah.
Well, there's room for improvement. So
exactly. Well, that's it. I'll have. There'll be an annoying release next year where they bring out the overseas range with hacking seconds.
All new.
All new hacking seconds. The latest technology. Anyway,
nice.
What are you wearing, G?
I'm still rocking my 16710 GMT Master 2.
Although you've got it on the Oyster now.
I switched today. I just thought it's time. It's been 12 days, and here we go.
Such a handsome
it's gone
watch,
over to the Oyster, and I just I always do this. I fall in love with one bracelet, and then I look at the other one and go, nah, why am I putting it on that? And then a little way in, I go, oh, hang on a minute. And then I switch it over and go, oh, for fuck's sake, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So I'm back on the Oyster now, and damn,
is it fine?
Yes, it is.
It is that joy of the change sometimes, and having that ability, and that's the great thing with 16710. Although to say that, it's the great thing with any 5-digit Rolex because they're all 20 mil. And if you have a 20 mil Jubilee and a 20 mil Oyster, and I know some people disagree with putting a Jubilee on a sub or whatever, but
they're wrong.
They're wrong, and if it works, it works, and sometimes it looks fucking fantastic.
It works, and the Jubilee I have for this GMT fits perfectly on my sub.
Yeah.
Does not fit on a 16570 Explorer 2. The end links are just slightly wrong.
Oh, does it
Weird.
not?
No.
You think it would as well? You think they're the same case as the 16710?
It's exactly what I would think, but then it would be typically Rolex.
Yeah.
To think, hang on a minute, it is the same case, but let's move like the fitment for the spring bar just a mil, just to piss people off.
Yeah.
just to sell an extra bracelet. It'll be all right.
But it's the same. That. I think that's why they're so cautious.
I say that it's probably the end link. It's probably just the end link, isn't it? But
it probably is. But it's interesting that they're so cautious, even with the modern manufacturer, is that they do not sell a Jubilee that will fit on a modern Submariner.
No, but it will fit on 11 series Submariner.
Yes, because you still got 20 mil. But what I'm saying is, if you took like a modern, like a Starbucks, for example,
sure,
because they're all 21 mil fitting. No,
and they fit on the Daytona, don't they? Because I've seen a few Daytonas at Jubilee, and actually, it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Was that the previous?
Carl Leone's got his on the previous Daytona. but the
Oh,
Jubilee he's got is the Super Jubilee off.
With the
I
hidden
can't
clasp.
remember which, with the
Yeah.
hidden clasp off. I can't
oh,
remember which date just.
interesting.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the most Mac Daddy of Mac Daddy bracelets to put on anything is
Yeah.
a Super Jubilee.
But like you say, that's on the 116 Daytona, not the 126. And
That's
the
correct.
126 obviously being the larger size, it probably is a totally different fitment now.
Is it a larger size?
Yeah, the
Have they changed the
126
case size?
was stepped up to a truer 40 mil.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
goes
I
to show
don't think
how
they
little I know
changed.
about.
I don't think they changed the bracelet though. Maybe.
Either way. But yeah, it looks his always looks so good on that.
Yeah, it does. It looks good. Yeah.
Nice. What have you got
Nice.
on tonight, Matt?
Well, I'm bridging the gap. Darren's gone modern. You've gone neo. I've gone vintage. I have got my 1680 red Submariner on.
Oh,
Uh,
very nice.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
was looking.
fucking
I was
nice.
looking at your post on Insta. That it's just stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and it's just amazing, just what a difference that single line of red text,
Yeah.
what it makes, and how it just works so well. And the loom on this, the patina isn't particularly strong. It's just nice and creamy. The insert's very black, and it's just that red just pops off the dial so well. Yeah, love it. I haven't worn it in ages actually, so it was nice. I just had it on this, just to have it on all weekend. Yeah, it's great. Love it.
Lovely watch.
Yeah.
Lovely watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Like you were so big on double red sea dwellers for so long,
Mm.
and then you've ended up with a sync with a obviously a red sub. It feels like that's. I haven't heard you mention double red sea dwellers since you got it.
Do you know what? We're having, obviously, we both did the 1665 Great White Sea
True.
Dweller. And I love that watch. I
Great
love the look of
watch.
it. But the only thing I will say is because of the dome of the crystal, the way the case back, it just proportionally, it's very thick on the 40
It
mil
is.
case. And actually, the 1680, it's just absolutely perfect.
It's what I've always said.
Yeah.
Why would I ever want a sea dweller, great as they are, like a 16600 40 mil sea dweller? It's such a great watch, but because I've got a 1406 sub, just always going to go sub. So much more comfortable.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Is just that this feels. It's funny, like you said. And I know, obviously, price on a double red when I was first originally looking all those years ago was always put it out of my league. But obviously, prices have come right down. But I don't see myself looking at them, investigating them, researching them, finding examples wherever they might be in the world, like I used to. I'm so comfortable with having the red sub.
And since then, yeah, and since then you got 5402. So things done change, bruv.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you are in a good place now as far as vintage Rolex is concerned, or is there still something you're kind of lusting after from Rolex, or is it now more your passion is all in Tudor and Omega at the moment?
No, I do think so. I just think it's I suppose it comes at a time when you're questioning what's value.
Yeah.
It's like I would adore a gilt dial 5512. That would just be, that to me would be just one of the ones to have in the future, and I would absolutely love it. And it's but again, it's there's so much value to be had out there in vintage Tudor, and as much as everyone takes the piss, vintage Speedmasters, there's so much value to be had, and it's easy to enjoy them because the value is so good. And I don't walk around stressing that I've got it on. I don't walk around worried that I'm going to smack it against a door frame. I don't, I have no worries at all wearing some of my vintage Tudors or like my vintage Speedmaster. I just don't worry about it. And I think if I had a 5512 gilt dial that was worth 30, 40, 50 grand, whatever it might be, I would be very conscious about it on the wrist. So I think you just all these little things you learn over the time. But no, there's plenty. I'd still love a 16550 cream dial Explorer 2. So, and it is interesting watching the prices fall on some of these, and they're sort of becoming in the realms of possibility. And actually, there's more and more examples. You used to sort of look for a cream dial 16550, and they were few and far between. Now, if you go looking for them, there's actually quite a few out there. and they're being found in collections. They're being put up for sale. They're being, as prices are falling, people are then chasing the falling market
Yeah.
before it gets too late, and they're worried that if they hold on to it too long, so all of a sudden these examples, and then again that's self-perpetuating. The prices fall even further because more and more examples come onto the market. So it's always interesting to watch. So,
Also,
but no,
there are
there's
so many.
plenty of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when you realise it's Rolex. There are an awful lot of them made. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I'm quite comfortable at the moment. My 1655, my 1675, my 1680, in terms of my vintage Rolex, that's
a
a
locked
banging
on
trio.
triumvirate.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So
Good on you. Nice.
But yeah.
So
Darren,
we were a bit more, well, I don't know where you're going with this, but we're a bit more organised this episode where G's pulled together a whole agenda. So I don't know.
I was just going to segue in, but you've stumbled into just saying out loud that there's an agenda. But that's
well, I think we should celebrate our organisedness.
I am celebrating.
Organised.
I did that on purpose to annoy you.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, no, we. I mean, look, you've had some collection news, so we thought we'd catch up on collections, right? And Matt was just saying about being settled on his vintage Rolex, but you're not feeling so settled in your collection, Darren.
No, I mean, you and Matt have certainly been doing a lot more consolidating, I think, over the last 12 months. You more so, G, than any of us. But Matt, I think, I don't know. You've definitely.
I've had the stimulus to do it, haven't I? But,
yeah. And I guess my stimulus has been the new release, the new Cardinal Points Vacheron that came out. I don't have the cash now to just keep what I've got and then put it into a new piece. So, and I've been to some extent, and I've said it before, my collections has become a weight on my shoulders. And when I realize how many of my pieces I have that I don't really give enough wrist time to, that they don't warrant keeping, and there's pieces there that are kind of semi-sentimental, or I just don't want to let go. I thought I need to grow up and just start getting through some pieces. And you've certainly been an inspiration, G, in terms of just getting on and doing it. So the Piaget Polo, yeah, that's all right. The Piaget Polo is a piece that I loved, but I probably more loved because of the connection with my dad and his love for Piaget. I enjoyed wearing it, but also with the price of gold going up, I found myself in a situation where I was like, it's really silly for a watch that I very rarely wear, or that maybe I wear occasionally for an Instagram post. The value's basically doubled, the gold value since I bought it. I need to, and it's time that I let that go. So that was the first piece I kind of made my mind up on. That's now at Felco. It may or may not still be available when this goes out, but I basically doubled my money on that one, which is the best I've ever done on any watch, because I usually just lose money on any trade I do. So I was quite pleased with myself, and I think Steph's quite impressed. He said I managed to do that one all by myself and make a really smart decision all by myself, because clearly he thinks most of my other decisions are bad ones. But so that went. Also, in a similar vein, I'm selling my Oyster Quartz day date. That's going to go soon. That one probably hurts the most because I love the look of it so much. I love wearing it so much. But again, it's a piece I can't just comfortably just put on my wrist and go out for the day. Like, I am quite self-conscious with gold. I don't know. I just find with gold watches, I like the idea of it, but they are quite bling. So,
do you know, even in a small way, when I had my root beer before, and although that's just steel and gold, it's that, just even that little flash of it, you're like, I don't know if I love the idea of it. I love the idea of having a full gold piece as well. But just the thought of walking around in town with one, I'd be like, I just couldn't do it.
I completely get it. I had exactly the same with the root beer. I mean, I owned the root beer. I lusted after that piece for so long. I waited a long time to get it. And I still think it's one of the most beautiful Rolex GMTs in terms of the colorway. The rose gold is great color. The brown on the bezel is fantastic. It's a beautiful watch, but the wearing experience and everything, it just didn't quite gel with me. It was a bit too flash. So maybe I'm not.
You need a white gold next time, mate. White gold.
Oh, I mean, the only gold piece I think I'm going to be left with, is that true? No, I've got the rose gold Breguet tradition, and then I'll have the Patek, which is white gold. And the Patek I don't feel that with because it's whatever.
It's a white metal.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never fucking wear it.
Yeah. No, I wore that. I
He
wore
wore
that
it the other day
yesterday,
for a
actually.
podcast post. It's fine.
No, I did wear it. I did wear it all day yesterday, and I did enjoy it. I still enjoy that one. And I do wear that one more than I was wearing the Piaget or the Oystercourt Day Date. So that's why those two had to go. And then I've also got on consignment with Sam my Zenith Night Surfer 2, which kind of hurts, but I can't justify keeping that as well as the White Surfer.
The truth is, whenever you open your watch box, and you're like, I want to wear a Zenith, you got your Night Surfer and you got your White Surfer, and there's only one of those two watches you're picking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're always going to go White Surfer because it's the better watch.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
And they're exactly
the Night Surfer.
They're exactly the same watch, right? They're the exact same movement. It's just in a different style. But the White Surfer is so different to anything else I have in the collection. That anytime I did wear the Night Surfer since having the White Surfer, it was more like, oh, I haven't worn the Night Surfer for a while. I should really wear it, kind of to justify keeping it. And it nearly went previously, but my wife was, oh, that's my favorite one, so I kind of kept it last time, and I thought this is not.
She can buy it off you then.
Anyway,
but it's when you drill down to it, they're always very weak justifications sometimes for keeping a watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And when something new does come along that requires funds, it's amazing how quickly you prioritize.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing I feel good about the Oystercourt Day Date because I can't say who it is, but the person I'm selling it to has said, as and when they want to sell it, they will give me first refusal. So it's good. It's good to have. It's a bit like with your AP, Matt, that you sold. It's kind of good to have that at the back of my mind because where I do have some nervousness about selling the Oystercourt Day Date is I have never seen one in that condition. That's completely full set. It's basically unworn. It was basically NOS. And every single example I've seen out there, you can often tell by the crown on the clasp. Like, it's just so sharp. The bracelet, just holds so straight that I know I'll never find one like it. So,
and this is a problem, as Steph said, is often you could have easily sold that to him and he would have sold it very quickly for you.
Yeah.
But the risk is they go off to the US.
Yeah.
And I think half of his sales at the moment are going to the US.
Yeah.
And the market's really strong out there at the moment. And that's great and everything, but it just means ultimately you'll probably never see the watch again.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really hard for some of these pieces that are quite rare and quite hard to get hold of. It's such a shame to think I've no idea. So the fact that where it's going, you're going to know where it is, a bit like my AP, it's kind of a my AP. It's a you know what I mean? It is
just lending it to someone.
Yeah, it's a comfort that you know where the watch is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going. Also, my boutique blue Tudor chrono is with Sam as well at Watch Concierge. It's
good
interesting.
Luck to Sam.
Yeah, good luck. She was saying Tudor was quite slow, but since Watches and Wonders, quite quickly Tudor's picked up again for her, and I think a lot of people were holding on Tudor, waiting for Watches and Wonders, especially on chronos and stuff like that, because they're like, oh, if a thinner one comes out, I don't want to be. So apparently I think she had a few Tudors that then straight after Watches and Wonders, even though they'd been sitting for a while, they then sold. So fingers crossed that does well for me. And so that's what else was there? Oh yeah, which I think you'll be happy with, G, because I feel like you've never 100% liked this watch other than the case back. Is the summer blue SMP 300, the Omega.
So Matt, what's going on in your watch collection? Sorry, no, I don't mean to be cruel, Darren.
Every time you saw me with it, G, your comment was always, I'm surprised you haven't sold that yet. That's what you said every time.
It's the greatest measure.
Let me say,
that's what G says when he doesn't like your watch.
Let me say, Darren, I'm thrilled that you're selling that piece of shit. You could do so much better than that. Honestly,
Darren just nearly had to test the waterproof of his new microphone.
That honestly, the $3,500 you get back from that will go well to your cardinal points. I'm being cruel. What does one of those fetch you in the market these days? Like 5, something like that? 4.5, 5.
Well, retail's a lot more, obviously, but I mean,
Yeah, that's not what I said.
I'll probably come away with 3.5, between 3 and 3.5, really, for it. Like
Oh,
after
okay. So I was
fees and
dangerously
everything.
close to the mark.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm delighted because it means I can buy that mesh off you. So
Yes.
not a problem.
Although I
Yeah.
seem to have misplaced it.
Oh, here we go.
I need to
God,
find
you're like
it.
Matt fucking Taylor, mate.
No, because you know what? I changed it because I got some a rubber strap for it, and then I took it off, and it must be on my bench behind me or somewhere in a drawer. I'll find it before the next meetup, Matt. Don't worry.
Thanks. Cheers, mate.
No, look, you're right. The case back is far and away the best part of that watch.
Yeah.
I didn't like any other feature of it, I'm afraid. No.
Yeah. Part of me wishes I'd rather bought the No Time to Die, because I just think that's such a
Yeah,
good...
that's a much better watch.
Yeah.
And look, the good news is there's fucking loads of them, and you can
there
get
is,
it any time.
and they are still bargains on the secondary market. Although I say bargains, they still seem to hold their value quite
What
well.
are they?
Once
They're
they
like
have that initial
£6,000 or
drop.
something.
Well, I'd say closer to
Six-ish?
7.
They pretty much priced
really?
at what they were when they first came out
Yeah,
at retail.
exactly. Yeah,
It's only since the stupid price hikes. But also, I'm going to hold on any Seamasters because rumor has it that Omega will soon be coming out with a completely newly designed Seamaster, and I'm hoping they go back to the baby Ploprof sort
do you think
of case
that?
design.
Do you think this
They're
on the back of the Planet Ocean that was released?
I mean, the Planet Ocean was kind of modeled. I mean, that to me would bring Amiga back if they did like the baby Ploprof.
Oh, that's a bold statement. I'm
It's
not sure anything's going to bring
Darren.
Amiga back.
It's Darren.
Yeah.
Come back down to earth, mate. The next Seamaster Pro is going to be like a smaller version of the Planet Ocean, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
If they ever do a baby Ploprof reissue, it's going to be a limited edition, boutique only, 10, 12 grand thing. That's going to be something else.
Yeah.
Probably in titanium.
Oh, but that would be sick if it was fully brushed.
It would be a fully brushed titanium with that
well,
bracelet.
then they'll want 16 grand off you for it.
They will.
True.
Which would not be amazing.
That's wishful thinking that Amiga would do something sensible and make it fully brushed, please.
Yeah, look, they're not in the good ideas line of the business, mate.
Well, listen, just occasionally, as we saw from that Speedy Pilot they released, just occasionally, they do
too
list.
big. It's too big.
But for you, not for me.
It's 14.5 mil, mate.
Right.
Yeah, it's quite thick, but it was fully brushed. You've got to give them that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, all right. Look, I mean, a broken clock tells the right time twice a day, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to give them points for making a fucking watch. They're a watch manufacturer, right? But
that's what I like about you, G. You're so easygoing.
Yeah,
that's right. I take it, mate. I'm Mr. Laid Back. That's right. No, look. Let's get back to the point here. I think it's good to let go of that one, mate. You've got better watches.
Yeah. And there's more to come. I can see. I feel like it's, and maybe you mentioned this before, but the hardest bit is getting rid of the first few pieces, and then it kind of opens you up to then thinking critically about everything else. So I think the rest I'm going to save.
Do you know what?
Yeah. Go on.
Sorry, go on.
No. I was going to say once the cardinal points comes in.
I think when you've.
God, this is. Can we just all be in a hotel room?
No, that's going to make
it.
It's like a BBC interview.
I feel like I'm on.
Paxman, yeah. I think when you get the cardinal points in, you're not going to wear anything else for ages anyway, so that'll make it easy.
Yeah.
But just getting rid of them, them being gone, and then realizing like that you haven't fucking missed them at all. Once you get in the habit of that, then you realize actually none of these watches mean anything.
Yeah.
They're just they're beautiful things and they're lovely to experience. But once you've experienced them, actually the letting go is a lot easier than you'd imagine.
Yeah.
Is it when the money starts rolling in and you start seeing it in your account and you're suddenly like, oh shit, this is what it's like to have money?
Yeah.
that often makes a big difference.
And then I get the call.
Yeah. But that doesn't matter. For that brief bit of time, you're like, shit, I've actually got some money for once. And I've not spent it all on watches. So
no, I mean, like you said, I've sold a few recently, and to start with, it was difficult. Like when the 1655 went, that was probably the first one of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that one, because I knew it was good, even though it had a slightly gammy lug. Uh, that one was a lovely watch, and it had been such a big deal in my mind to have got to that watch. That letting go of it was really sort of like I was really in two minds, but you know what? Then I didn't miss it at all.
Yeah.
And then I'd tell myself these stories like, oh, well, it's all right. I could get rid of that because I've still got my Explorer 1 and I've still got my blah, 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 blah. And they're the ones that really mean no. Then I got rid of those. Don't care. Fine. Gone.
Yeah, it's so
And
true.
if I ever want another one, it's not like I'm getting rid of a steel 1518. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They made shitloads. They're everywhere. And you say, oh, well, I'll never see another Oyster Quartz day date in that kind of condition. How many times have you looked for one?
Well,
None.
since having one, I did. Whenever I look at
it's
a
not a
listing,
watch you see around.
No.
Like, it's not. It's not common in that sense. But I bet if you said to Steph and Tommy, look, if in the next 2 to 3 months you come across a really good one, give me a shout.
Yeah.
Knowing our friends over there, you'll have a call by the end of the week, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think these things are as difficult to let go of as they may seem. Yeah, totally. Yeah. If you had a genuinely rare watch, then sure, you've got to really deliberate and think, have I had my time? Am I happy to let go? Because then you really probably won't ever get one back.
Yeah.
But then again, if you were letting go of a really, really, truly rare watch, you'd be making a shitload of money. So, so happy times.
Yeah. I think you do have to, like you said with the Piaget, and I know it's a rarity that this happens, but just on material price alone, the fact that you've doubled that it's hard to hold on to it, like you say, when you don't wear it that much.
Yeah.
And for the right collector, that is like the watch, because again, it's not something you see very often.
Yeah, and I'm quite happy for gold to go down now.
Yeah. Well, buy back next year.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine?
Well, but you know what, right? So just jumping on, my own collection, obviously everyone knows I'm not going to labour the fact that the AP's gone and everything, but it was interesting, and I touched on it last time we did the episode with Andrew and Ross, was the fact that the Monte Carlo, now I sold the Heritage Monte Carlo. Now I sold my Heritage Monte Carlo, like, I don't know, 18 months ago, whatever. I think I sold it for 3,000. And actually now buying one back for less than that kind of feels like a small victory.
Yeah, it's a win.
And then exactly the same thing has just happened with my Tudor Big Block, my Oyster Date Chrono, and it was, again, that was one of those pieces that I knew Steph had it back. So when I originally sold it, it went off to a chat, and I was speaking to the guy on Instagram who bought it, and he was like, "Oh, I bought your Big Block," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Okay, well, it's nice to know where it's gone." And then he, a year later, traded it back in, and I knew Steph had it when we did the British Watchmakers Day get together. It was in the showroom, and Ken, Central Seconds, he was looking at it, and he was really interested, and he just couldn't quite make it work at the time, and a couple of other people messaged me about it, and it was there just haunting me, and it was always there in the back of my mind that it's right there, it's right there. And I did exactly the same thing. I knew it was there, I knew where it was. Yeah. Me and Steph had sort of half agreed a price already, which was lower than what I sold it for originally. And then I said, well, no, I want to see, obviously, Watches and Wonders is around the corner, I want to see what comes up. And then obviously, as soon as the Tudor release came out, and there was really nothing, for the first time in ever, there was nothing that I was interested in, I immediately, that was the other thing, because he was coming to the collector's event at Tudor, I knew he was bringing the Big Block with him.
Yeah.
And he said to me, because he's got to go and pick up other watches, can I take it back with my watches? So I knew, I knew
knows
whatever
what
happened,
he's doing.
Whether I was buying it or not, I knew I was coming home with my Big Block.
Yeah.
And as soon as he put it in my hand, and as soon as I knew that there was nothing new, no new releases I was interested in, I was like, yeah, no, I want my Big Block back.
Yeah.
And I bought it back.
He's just playing 4D chess, isn't he?
Yeah, it literally is. But it was kind of not meant to be, because I'm sure it was all very, But it was just nice. It was as soon as I put it back on the wrist, I was like, "This is yeah." I don't know why I ever got rid of it in the first place, so I bought it back.
Yeah.
So that's been nice to have those back in the collection, and nice to be able to get them for cheaper than I sold them for in the first place. So man
That's a
maths tells
result.
me, yeah, that I've still made money even though I've spent money. But
No,
whatever.
you
Yeah,
made money on that, mate.
yeah, quite.
Even the man mass works out on
Yeah,
that respect.
yeah.
You're winning the game, mate. Well done. If only you could pull the same trick on the 5402, you'd
Wouldn't
have a
that be a
full
thing?
house. Wouldn't that be a thing? Exactly.
One day, one day.
Exactly.
Well, I
Nice.
hear that AP, I mean, obviously it's different because that's a very highly collectible vintage piece, but AP is taking a bit of a hit. And I was watching a few YouTube channels or something like that about dealers are saying that the APs are just sitting now and they're having to bring the prices down quite a bit. And I think even Bobby, we had a text message conversation with him, and he was kind of implying that AP prices are coming down, which is interesting. So I think there's a bit of love being lost for AP at the moment.
I feel like they do it to themselves, don't they? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's all the stories that Bobby's told us and that other people have told us, and the fact that now they're doing that whole we're going to get into kind of certified pre-owned or Audemars Piguet. You just sort of start feeling like, don't know, like
Do you
really,
know what
it's
though? And
all.
I hate to say it, and I know it's something we're going to talk about in a bit, but it's the way they tell the story. And I
Mm.
think sometimes, even if perhaps if they're trying to tell it right, the fact is they're living in the shadow constantly of the Royal Oak. And it doesn't matter
A,
what they do, they
hmm,
AP is Royal Oak is AP. And actually, some of the releases that came out, there were some fascinating things that they're doing at the moment. And the more I've read about it, and the more that we'll talk about this in a little bit, you do think the story's being told all wrong at the moment.
I've got sprinkles here for you guys.
Oh my God.
hey,
Oh
has,
dear.
has he had a
Anyway,
poo?
Yeah, on my lap.
yeah,
Oh
No,
dear.
he was scratching on the door, so I thought I'd let him in. But
amazing.
Uh,
But anyway,
there's a
we'll
reason why
listen. We'll come back to that.
yeah,
But G, I know you wanted to obviously we want a bit of an update on where you are with your collection because it has drastically changed.
Well, yeah, not since last week, but yeah, I mean, in the last few months, 100%. I'm down to I'm not even, I failed on the 8+1. I'm sorry to say. I'm now 7+1. So just before we went away to watch some wonders, I took my 16570, formerly Noz Explorer 2, over to Steph and Tommy because I was like, do you know what? I'm just I'm just gonna always pick my 16710 over my 16570.
Yeah.
And I've had my time with it. It's been really nice, but I just felt ready to kind of like to let it go. I just felt because I've just been in this consolidation mode. And I've been really, really, really enjoying having fewer watches, spending more quality time with each watch. I don't know. It just made me think, yeah, I don't need it.
And
Just don't
you
need it.
said you dropped it off just before you came out to Geneva to meet us. You
Mm.
said, however, I reckon it's going to sit there for a while because he has quite a few 16570s at the moment.
Well, when I took it in, they had 7 in the
Yeah,
showroom. Well, between 16570s and 16550s.
yeah.
So yeah, they had 7 polar dial Explorer 2s, 5 digit. And I thought, well, mine's nice. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of near mint. All original, obviously. One careful owner. Uh, but do you know what I mean? I was like, well, yeah, but yeah, it went while we were out there.
Yeah. Which, again, we said it before, quality will always sell. And the fact that that is, and it was Noz, like literally when we obviously, we did it together. I got the black dial, you got the polar dial.
Yeah,
We
we peeled
literally
the stickers
sat
off.
and peeled the stickers off together. And it was bizarre to have a watch from, because was yours 2003 as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. To have a
Yeah,
watch
that
that
rings
was
a
over
bell.
20 years old that you were peeling the stickers off from factory is
Mm.
bizarre.
mad,
Yeah.
mad.
I tell you what, that was an expensive day.
That was. As soon as those
I've learned a
stickers
lesson
came off.
there. Yeah, I've learned a lesson there. Those I'd say I wouldn't do that again unless it was a watch I knew.
Yeah, you're going to keep.
I was committing to on a very long term basis.
But I didn't see that one going because I don't know. You just loved that. You absolutely loved it. And I remember before when we've joked, I'll buy it from you, and you're like, "Oh, I'm never selling it."
Well, you didn't say you were joking, you lying prick.
No. I was interested, and I would have bought it. But I'm trying to sell pieces at the moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's I mean it's not a watch purchase until Darren's told me he'll be there to buy it off me if I ever want to get rid of it. But no, look, I loved it. I really love that watch. It's a fucking fantastic watch. And having owned 3 generations of Explorer 2, as I now have, it's definitely the sweet spot in I mean, I love a 1655, but that obviously, like any 5-digit Rolex, it's just bulletproof. It's just, absolutely wonderful, perfect fit, all of that stuff. And the value is crazy. It's a third of the price of that 1655.
It's probably the best value Rolex, I think. Given the complication, its date, second time zone.
Wow.
Very comfortable wear, good looking watch.
It's an exceptional watch and exceptional value for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm down 7+1 now, and
unbelievable.
That leaves me with 4 Rolexes. So the Explorer 1, the GMT Master 2 6710, the Sub 14060M, and the Hulk. That's it. 3 Tudors, the FXD obviously, my Black Bay 54, and my 7928 being my last vintage watch.
That's just it blows my mind.
And purely because nobody would buy it, my Doxa Sub 300 carbon.
You've still got your Studio Underdog as well.
Fuck, I'd totally forgotten about that. Yeah, I've got
8+1. The case is full. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's true. No, and in fairness, and I don't count it because
it's got your G-Shocks, but yeah.
No. I've got my. Well, yeah, I do. I've got my CWC.
Oh yes, but that's just lives in the
TGN.
That lives in a bag for when you might need it. Type watch.
And
when
I never
we go
do.
to war.
Yeah. No, actually, that you're right. I've got that Studio Underdog Series 2, which is fine, but I've worn it twice.
Yeah.
I don't know why I bothered. I should sell that.
Yeah. Well, listen, it was a fun little.
It's a great watch. It's a great watch.
You need to sell your Zodiac now. G can sell his Studio Underdog. Then all 3 watches we bought on that day at Time and Tide. Oh God!
I'll hold on to the Zodiac. I wore it for the first time in about a year the other day, and it is quite a cool looking watch. And I do like the history behind it.
Yeah,
I can't even be bothered to sell the Studio Underdog.
It's just too much hassle.
I think that's the thing is for the value you get back for it. You're like, I might as well just keep it. It's got a good story connected to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Although that said, the sale of it would cover something. Like, for example, and this is my segue into the next thing I was going to talk about, a Rolex service center service.
Yes. Glad we got onto this because I think this is a valuable
lesson. Look at these segues are professional.
Well, that's why you keep me around. It's not for my chiseled looks or my height or anything. But yeah, so we talked on a podcast last year about, the merits or dangers of going to Rolex for a Rolex service. And I think I said at the time that I was thinking about it for my GMT and my Sub. And my GMT had recently, my 16710 that is, had started running 8 seconds a day, 8.5. It was creeping. Like every time I put it on, it was getting more and more wayward. And I thought, well, this is it. It's time for a service. And even my 14060M Sub started doing the same thing. And when I'd got it, it had been like 1 second a day, and now it was 3 or 4 seconds a day. And I was like, oh, here we go. And so also combining the fact that I could ingratiate myself further with my Rolex authorized dealer, who I've been battering my eyelids at of late, I thought, fuck it, here we go, let's do it. And I really liked when we were talking to Richard last year, and he was sort of going through all the things he does when he services a 5-digit Rolex, and just replaces any worn part. It just all gets replaced, and it's just back good as new. I thought, fuck it, like these are watches I'm going to keep forever. Might as well do it. Might as well do it. And I'm not going to be precious like there's some 50-year-old vintage gilt dial, whatever. Let's just have it. And so I did. And so we stated very specifically movement only service, and off they went. And I did say, I understand for the waterproofing, they might want to change the crystal and the crown, and I'm all right with that if they want to do it. At the end of the day, it's got to be able to do its job. So no worries. And so off they went. So 6 weeks later, I got an email saying the sub was ready, but I agreed with the dealer, let's just wait for both of them to come back. Maybe that was only after 5 weeks, actually. And then after 8 weeks, the GMT came back. So he's like, brilliant, everything's here, come and get it. And he sent me a picture of the GMT because it had just come in. And he was like, brilliant news, look what's in. Except when I'd shipped it off, because I obviously bought this from a secondary dealer. I don't know if you remember me saying, but I got it on a Pepsi bezel insert that wasn't, it turned out. Carleone had messaged me one day and on Instagram gone, mate, your insert isn't kosher. That's not a Rolex insert. I was like, what? And at the time, I was really happy to get a Pepsi insert, but I'd always thought in the back of my mind, I do like the black ones as well. And the dealer I got it from, I'd mentioned that to, and he's like, oh, no problem, I'll chuck in a black one for free. So the shady fucker had basically given me, I then suspected, the black insert had come on, given me a non-kosher Pepsi insert. I'd gone to RSC, St. James's Square, and got them to switch out the dodgy Pepsi insert for a proper one. And while I was there, I got a Jubilee bracelet for it as well. And I'd taken the watch in on a leather strap because I wasn't going to do that, take any risk that they'd say it's on an exchange basis. Anyway, when the watch came back the other day from RSC, it was suddenly, lo and behold, on a black insert. So Rolex Service Centre had obviously looked up the serial number, gone, hang on a minute, this didn't leave the factory with a Pepsi insert. What the fuck's this? And although I don't think it left the factory on a Jubilee bracelet either, thank fuck they didn't switch that out. But it came back on the black insert. And so I said to the dealer, like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh my God. So he freaked out and got onto them. And it turned out they said, yep, that's what we've done. And he was like, well, you got to send me back the Pepsi insert because it's the customer's. He wants that back. They're like, oh, well, it's in Geneva now.
Well,
we've sent it back.
But that's mad because you bought it from Rolex Service Centre. It's mad. Yeah.
They'll have
it was a genuine
on their system.
insert. Yeah, it was a genuine insert.
It's a genuine insert.
Yeah.
And it's a service insert. It's not like it's a serif or something.
Yeah.
It's a genuine service insert, and they'll see on their system
they sold it to you. Yeah.
That they sold it to me. So it's truly bizarre.
And it would have been sold to you against the serial of that watch because they
correct.
And
they fitted it. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I just remember when you sent the picture through, I was like, it's fucking bizarre that this stuff can still happen.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
I mean, if anything,
aside from the fact it makes excellent content for the podcast.
Yeah, that of course. Thanks, Jay.
Fucking crazy that they've done that.
I would have thought if they pride themselves in returning it as it would have been sold, you would have think at least they would have put the black insert in it and then given you the RSC insert on the side if they really wanted to. But to send that away because they're not exactly going to be selling that other insert, right? It's clearly ended up in a bin or ended up, I don't know, maybe there's some back channel dealings with dealers, but
that's not like, I don't think $1 trillion Rolex gives a fuck about that 20p insert.
Yeah.
But they're just slapping you on the wrist, aren't they? And they're just going, no, we know you've been a cheeky boy. No, not on our watch.
Yeah.
Forgive the pun.
I mean, I suspect they didn't change the bracelet because my understanding is back in the day when those were sold, it was kind of like a customer could say, "Oh, could I have that on the Jubilee?" Like that, they were still switching bracelets in store then.
But it says on their system that I got that Rolex service centre the same day at St James's. I got it the same day at St James's. I got the insert, so they know that that's not. I mean, you know, they'll see.
So what's so obviously the AD has been trying to chase it back.
to Watches of Switzerland.
Yeah,
they've been trying to chase it back, and I haven't checked in. But he just said to me, "What did you pay for it?" And I was like, 125 quid, something like that. And he was like, "No problem." He goes, "I'll take that off the cost of the service, whether we get your insert back or not." He's like,
but you couldn't get that insert now for that money.
I don't know. How much does an insert cost now?
No, but that's it. You can't just rock in there now. As far as I'm aware,
I think they do still sell inserts, don't they?
No, because then why would they trade? Why would they trade for so much money on places like eBay and dealers?
No, that's for the serif ones. If you want a new service insert, you can just walk in.
You have to have the watch.
I would double check that. Yeah, I would double check that because I don't know if that's possible anymore.
I suspect it's now on an exchange basis.
Yeah, and I suspect it's probably more than that 125 that you paid.
Truth be told, it was always my least favourite of the three. And I've got a serif Coke and I've got a serif Black.
Yeah.
I'm not overly concerned. Yeah. It was an interesting experience, like you say, hashtag content. And I've been chipping away at Matt Taylor to sell me a serif Pepsi. Although he did that classic thing. He did that classic thing where he went, "Yeah, got one, here you go." And it was like mint. And I was like, "Oh, mate." And he goes, "Only problem is it's my only Noz one." And I'm like, here we go again.
I don't want to sell it.
He doesn't want to sell it. And I said, "All right, Matt, no problem. I mean, I don't want to part you from your last Noz. Any chance you've got a pre-loved one that you'd be willing to let go?" And he went, "Yeah, I'll come back to you with a couple of options." And as at time of recording, I have not heard back.
I did ask him. I was like, why do you struggle to let go? Obviously, because we spent time with him in Geneva. And I said, why do you struggle to let things go? And he's like, because I might not find another one. And it's that collector mentality. It doesn't matter how much you've got. It doesn't matter how much you've seen. And you're like, his attitude is no, because I might not see another one. And I need to make sure I've got like one of everything.
Yeah.
And it's astonishing. Yeah. His collection is astonishing.
Well, I'm sure I can't even fathom the beginnings of what his collection consists of, really. Yeah. But either way, I haven't got a Pepsi fucking insert. So if you're listening to this, Matt, gentle nudge, friendly reminder. Please.
And also, Matt, I'm never letting you book a hotel room for us again.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, you call it a hotel room.
I mean, a hostel.
That's generous. I mean,
you say even a hostel is generous.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more like a scene from the movie Saw.
Oh, fucking hell, honestly. Yeah. Do you know what? The amount of people that messaged me and said, "I don't know what you're complaining about, wasn't that bad?" I was like, you weren't there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't tell, right, on camera, like in terms of the smell and everything kind of there. Yeah. And it's, unless
even my missus went.
The fridge.
It was, even my missus went, I mean, I know it looked bad, but it looked clean. I was like, no, it didn't. Trust me. You have to believe me.
Darren's camera is not sufficiently.
Yeah. I mean, we all felt itchy just being in there.
I'm not surprised.
But
anyway, the 6710's back, and I've had it on 12 days, and it's been running at minus 0.2 seconds a day. So amazing. I am like a pig in shit.
Nice.
I haven't had the 14060M on yet, but I'm sure that'll be running equally well. So I'm thrilled. Yeah, definitely worth it. And I think
awesome.
For the two, it came in at, I want to say 1,700 the pair.
Fucking hell, you best get that Doxer sold.
No one wants it, mate. It's unsellable. But do you know what? That's fine.
How much do you want for it? What? Let's
rally around it.
Let's create the advert now, shall we?
No, it's not even worth it.
It's a great holiday watch, though. Still, I think when you go away, going in the pool, like it's
a great watch. Yeah, it's a great watch. And actually, Darren, like this may be something that you experience, is that like having got rid of the stuff I've got rid of, I'm like, It's a fucking great watch. I've got no complaints with the watch. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like when I let go of the Burgundy. It's a brilliant watch. I
Yeah.
really love the watch. It's great. Just don't need it. Just don't
Yeah.
like. It's time to let go, and I'd rather have fewer and more money in the bank.
Yeah.
Do you know,
Yeah.
I did a post on the pod account the other night about the Burgundy and the BB58 blue, and that picture you sent me ages ago,
Yeah,
G.
yeah.
Just talking
It's
about
a
the new
good picture.
the Sunray dials and the matte dials and Jubilee, and basically the
Yeah.
way that the Black Bay range is shifting to this more sort of what I call shiny, moving away from the tool aesthetic. And someone
Well,
messaged me,
they've moved off the matte dials, right? And with the
yeah,
exception of the BB58
but
Black, the OG, where they're
yeah,
keeping it, which tells you everything you need to know, really.
exactly.
They
And I was
know.
so happy that the BB58 Black stayed as a matte dial. That
Yeah.
classic tool watch aesthetic, almost to the point where you look at it and you think, until you see them side by side, it's not really changed. And there's been the subtle tweaks, and it's a nice evolutionary step. But someone messaged me and said, "Oh, has G still got the Burgundy?" And I sat here and I was like, "Do you know what? I just don't know. I know there's so much has gone, but I couldn't even remember if that one had gone or not. But obviously it has. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
eBay, mate. It went on
yeah,
eBay.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Possibly, maybe I should have sat on it a bit longer because I think I sold it for 3. And it wouldn't surprise me now that all these new Tudors that come out are now a Black Bay's now 4 and a bit watch, right?
yeah.
4.2, 4.3, some of that on the 5 link. That 3 grand Burgundy looks like good value, I think, to me now.
Yeah.
In the
Mm.
sense that maybe I sold it a bit cheap, but that was
Well,
the
maybe you
market
can buy
when
it
Do you
back
know-
in
I
two and
let
a
it go.
half.
Do you know what, Dan?
Yeah,
Now
I don't want it back. I don't want it back.
No.
But it's interesting now, Darren. Now you've said that as well about the whole thing about people have waited. Obviously, it's exactly what I did. But
Yeah.
it was interesting. There's a Tudor specific website that I follow, and again, in fact, he was the one that bought my All Blacks chrono,
Yeah.
and that was sitting there. And there were so many Tudors sitting there that I've just been watching, and like left hand drive Pelagos and all this sort of stuff. And all of a sudden, you go on there, they're all sold, all gone.
Wow. There you go.
So again, it just proves that people are sitting there waiting, because often that purchase
Yeah.
point for a Tudor is the one, maybe the one watch they'll buy for the year.
But we know from the Tudor
Yeah,
group,
yeah.
we know from the Tudor group that there were a lot of people going, "Oh, I'm just waiting for what
Yeah.
releases come out. Oh, I was gonna, the lollipop I bought. There were a few people going, "Oh, I was eyeing that up, but I
Yeah.
thought I'd wait till Watches and Wonders." You
No,
can
that was
imagine.
me. That was me and Matt.
Yeah,
That
no,
was-
you
yeah,
weren't.
that was
You weren't the
us.
only one, G.
Yeah.
I had a few comments like that from people going, "Oh, I was looking at that, but I was waiting to see the release." And obviously, yeah, I think quite a few now have gone, kind of breathed a sigh of relief and been like, "Okay, we can now get the pieces that we know we wanted, but we were holding on."
But I mean, well, that's interesting actually, because I mean, I've found myself, I was looking at that, but I've been thinking, I don't know, I suppose Watches and Wonders was really one of the things that I really enjoyed about Watches and Wonders is the last few months, because I've been so focused on home renovations and selling watches, and I've come off Instagram essentially because I've just been so busy. I I kind of found myself just getting out of the whole watch vibe and all of that I wasn't spending any time on Insta. I wasn't spending any time on watch websites. I wasn't thinking about watches constantly. And it was really nice, right? It's been really nice to have a break. But going to Watch Some Wonders, since I've come back, I've found myself thinking, oh, have you seen what's just gone up on Falco? Oh my God, look at that 1530. Look at that GMT. Look at that blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of got me thinking about, once home renovations are done, once I do start to build up a budget again, what next?
Oh, you're going to be out of
And,
control, mate. You're going to be out of control.
But you can't
Well, no,
ever
but
deny
early thoughts.
the passion's always going to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you have
100%.
to. I think you found yourself in a situation where it's forced upon you that you need to prioritize elsewhere.
Yeah, it's just freeing up
yeah.
that cash, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
you were saying with your AP.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to let go, but at the same time, needs must. You need the cash in that moment.
Mm.
And it just is what it is. But
Yeah.
it's been really good in that way. But I think, having been thinking about it a bit, because Steph put up another nice Tudor sub, and I started thinking, well, if I go back to vintage, I think what I'm going to do going forwards is when it comes to Rolex, I'm not going to do vintage Rolex anymore. I'll stick to new Rolex. But the vintage thing, I'll indulge with Tudor, right? Because it makes perfect sense in so many ways in my stupid little warped brain. And then I started thinking, yeah, because then if I do that, I can get a 7016, I can get a 9401, I can get a 79090. Like I can just really go in on Tudor subs, and that's really cool because who doesn't love multiple subs, right? But then I thought, rather than get 3 Tudor subs, why not just get one fucking exceptional Tudor sub? Like, why not get an MN? Or why not get, I don't know what, something just that's insane, fucking off the hook good. And the more I've been chewing that over, the more I've thought, I think that's a really good idea.
I agree.
Yeah. So are we pleading to Matt Taylor again to sell one of his subs?
Well, no, because as we know, he won't let go, but someone out there might. Do you know what I mean? And all right, it's gonna mean stumping up like a lot for one watch, but I think kind of now I feel myself crossing over that line where I'm like, oh yeah, I get how people do this now. I get it. I see. Why have 3 really nice watches when you can have one utterly epic, like no fucking around? That's the one. It doesn't get better than that.
But you might worry wearing it.
Well, no, because I think with a Tudor sub, how can you worry about wearing it?
Yeah. But it is strange because I often think that. I think, I have so much in my collection. I really could thin out. I'm back up to 11 Tudors. That's just Tudors.
Say that again, Matt. You could what? Thin out, you say?
I could thin out, right? And I could go and I could go and get my EP back. There's I talked about it while I was out in Geneva, the fact that the Vacheron overseas that I really want. And I almost don't want to declare it publicly in case people don't know about it, because I do think it's one of the coolest overseas.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the moon phase with the retrograde date, and it's just cool. And no one ever talks about it. It's not a popular model. It goes well below retail.
Yeah.
I think the retail's like 45, 46 grand on that.
That's good.
And yet you can pick them up for 33, 34,000.
Yeah.
So things like that, and again, like you said, G, I could, rather than having 3 Tudor subs, I could have one banger, or rather than having 5 or 6 Tudor chronos, I could have a home plate, or.
But exactly,
but
exactly.
But my collector's brain, I love, and again, talking about it this morning, just taking 3 Tudor chronos that I've got, I love the lineage. I love looking back at I love having that story to tell. And I know it might seem ridiculous, but I don't know.
I hear you. But what if you had a red sub, a gilt 5512, and a Tudor MN74, and those were the only subs you had?
Yeah. It would be amazing. And I'm sure one day
you don't need the other half dozen subs.
No, and I think it's. I'm sure one day I'll get there. It's just that I don't need to race to it right away.
No, that's true. But I feel like I can, for the first time, I can see the end of the street. I can see that corner, and it's not that far away. You have to understand, not financially for me, but I just mean, in terms of where my head's at.
Yeah,
I can suddenly wrap my head around it and go, "Oh yeah, I get it now."
But I guess that's kind of goes to the point earlier, and maybe you have to go for that experience of experiencing all these pieces. And once you've had your time with them, you can be like, okay, I'm now ready for 1 or 2 serious pieces. And that's it. I've played the volume game. I've had the lineage. I've had all these different models. I've really enjoyed it. I've done the speedy thing. I've done this. I've done that. It's all just part of the wanky word, the journey.
Well, no, it is. But yeah, no. The thing is, we can all attest to the fact the journey never stops, right?
Yeah.
The journey never ends.
It just ends with Seiko and Casio. That's all.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
all
know
ends
who's.
with an
I mean,
Apple
I
Watch.
hope it doesn't.
I don't know whose journey ends with Seiko and Casio, but
I'm just thinking of that graph,
Yeah, yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
graph, the journey of a collector, and it's kind of like you come back to Rolex several times, but ultimately, when you're older, it just ends with Seiko.
well, we'll see.
It is a
But
strange thing though, and and again, you might think me mad going back to pieces that I've already owned. And I know, G, you did it as well, but I don't know. There's just something about having these pieces, and I do enjoy it.
well, but you
So
bought them in the first place because they're fucking great,
yeah, yeah,
and guess what? You still think they're fucking great.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. You've literally bought back the exact watch that you had before, which makes it even more obvious as
yeah.
a move.
Yeah.
But difficult to move on and difficult to consolidate. But I strongly recommend getting down to fewer watches and enjoying more quality time with them because I did 3 weeks with my Hulk, I did 3 weeks with my Explorer. I've done 2 weeks now with this GMT. Like I've been enjoying them even more than I used to enjoy them before, and they were nailed on bangers then, and now
Yeah.
it's just an order of magnitude beyond.
Yeah.
It's really great. And it raises the bar as well on the rest of it, and you just think, yeah, I don't need that other stuff.
Is there anything you think you're left with now, G, that you think, this could go? Other
Yeah,
than the
Doxer,
Doxer.
the Doxer. Well, I mean, this I really love the 7928, but if I was serious about getting into an MN, like a real like 70s MN Tudor sub,
Mm,
if I needed to come up with an extra 10 grand towards that, the
yeah.
7928 would be an obvious candidate, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I really love that watch, and it's unpolished. It's a great example, and ideally, despite what I just said, keeping both obviously would be ideal.
Just on the subject of MN and Tudor subs, it was obviously fascinating going to the Tudor event.
The what now?
The Tudor event at HQ in Geneva.
Well,
Oh, I
that
haven't
G
heard about
didn't go
this.
to.
Sorry, we've not mentioned
Oh
it.
yeah,
I'm so sorry.
sorry.
But do you know? But in all seriousness, it's amazing to see that many Tudor MN subs in one room.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing it did confirm to me was that I reckon that market is pretty tight. And like Comex subs and mill subs and all that sort of thing, I reckon there's a very close knit circle that trade them.
Mm.
And I don't know.
100%.
Yeah, and
You're
it
going to
kind
need
of
to know.
you're going to need to know the right people. Yeah,
You're going to need Matt Taylor. You're going to say,
Yeah.
Matt, I
yeah,
need you to make an introduction.
yeah. But it's
And whoever you get the watch off, you're going to have to make them an offer they can't refuse.
yeah. And it was interesting that's not the point. The evening was not about military Tudors. It was just
No.
talking about vintage Tudors in all forms, and actually, pretty much every display there was based around military subs. Now, obviously, mine wasn't. Mine was a very modest little display of my watches, and that was fine. And I know I appreciate the guy that showed up with like 20 MNs all in chronological order. That was astonishing.
Mm.
But again, it showed me and highlighted to me that actually the people aren't paying still a huge amount of attention to the chronos. You know, yes, there were a few people with home plates
Good
there.
point.
Yes, there were a few people with exotic big blocks, but really everything was about snowflake subs and military issued subs. And actually, you think all these collections, you know, I'm sure they have got these other things, but I don't know. It was just fascinating to me. There was a whole opportunity there, which just showed that perhaps chronos are still being slept on slightly.
Yeah. I think they
Um,
are because you look
Yeah.
at some of the prices of big blocks, small blocks.
Yeah.
Never mind the home play and all of those because obviously they demand a much higher price, but it does feel like there's so much more room to grow in the chrono
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that was just a
Wow.
little observation, just thinking about it and just seeing all those military issued subs. It was amazing to see, but I just think there's something being missed still
Yeah.
in the history of Tudor. But anyway,
I feel like going forwards, we could start playing map bingo, where basically, as soon as you mention the Tudor event, there's
Yeah.
someone's just won bingo.
It's prick point.
It's going to turn into like a drinking game or something.
It'll be prick points. That's fine.
That's fine. Good.